Okay, here we are, episode 10 of the series on DIY building your own WordPress website. So I'm quite happy to be here today, and if you've been following along from the beginning, then you should be more or less ready to go live with your website as well, depending on what you've done. Okay, so there are a couple of things that I just want to polish off or just want to polish up before we get this website live. And the first one of these things is what we call the favorite icon, or the fav icon. So let me show you basically what we're talking about there. All right, if you go and have a look on your website here, you'll see, depending on which browser you're using, you'll see that there's a little icon next to the website name. And that little icon is called a favorite icon, and that's the item that I want to change now. So what I'm going to do, the way we change that, is within the Cadence theme itself. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to log into WordPress. Now you'll notice that my WordPress login has changed because we now have that Membership Pro plugin that is basically changing the way we log into the website. It's still the same login details. It's just that we're now logging in a slightly different place. All right, so once we're logged in, we can go along here to the Appearance menu item. And if we scroll down to Cadence, you'll see that we've got a lot of the stuff. These are basically just shortcuts that take you to the customizing section of WordPress. So what I'm wanting to do here is change the branding, and I'm going to upload, well, we can upload a logo and a fav icon. So we click on that customize, it'll take us straight into that part of the customizing menu. And you'll see that we already have logo in there, so that's not necessary. We don't need to change anything there. But down at the bottom here, you'll see we have site icon. And this is the guy that we want to change. So I need to remove that one, and I need to select where I want to put the site icon that I want to use. Now, I don't have it up here at the moment, but I do have it on my other computer, which is sitting behind me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just connect to that computer using my home network. And if I go to where I need to go, websites, remembering, graphics, and fav icon, upload, there it is. Just click on select and click on publish, and you should notice that that thing will change once we refresh the page. So let's get out of the customize option, and wow, there you go, it changed it immediately. So that's just one of these little things that you can do that makes your site look a lot more professional. I have noticed that a lot of people, a lot of lazy website developers don't bother with a fav icon, and you can pick it up immediately. That just looks pretty unprofessional. Okay, the next thing we're going to tackle is the very last thing that I'm going to do before we put the website live, and that is to integrate MailChimp. Now, MailChimp is a service that lets you bulk mail people, customers, and in my case, subscribers to my website. So it's very important to get this set up properly at the beginning, because what you want to do is you want to create an audience, and you want to be able to reach that audience at any time on your own terms. And I have made a video about that in the past, so I'll link that up here. And you can go and watch and see exactly why this is such an important thing to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install MailChimp. I've already signed up as a user for MailChimp. Now, MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 people on your list. Generally, if you're going to get a much bigger list than 2,000 people, you're probably going to be doing very well, and then you'll need to start paying for the privilege of being able to send out these emails. But beneath 2,000 members, it's a free service. So I encourage you to use that if you don't already have it set up. Rightio, so what we got to do first of all, and I haven't done this for a while, so if I get a little stuck, please bear with me, but we'll get there in the end. So under the install, or under plugins, we're going to go to add new, and we're just going to type in MailChimp over here. Click on enter. And you'll notice that we now have more than one option here. So what on earth is going on? So on the first position here, we've got MC4WP, which is MailChimp for WordPress. And now that has 2 million active installations, but this is an unofficial MailChimp plugin. It looks very good, but I'm not interested in that. I'm going to stick with the official one, which is the one right next door to it. Now this has 900,000 active installations and it's only got 4 stars. So you may be thinking, well, why would you do this instead of the other one? Well, I know that this one works. So it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to integrate my sign-up forms with my WordPress installation. So let's go ahead and install this. Just wait a few moments for that to install. And once it's installed, we just got to activate it. Oh darn, I've used the wrong thing. So this is actually now for WooCommerce only. That makes a complete mockery out of this thing. So what are we going to do now? I guess we're going to try the MailChimp for WordPress. So let's try MailChimp for WordPress and see what that looks like. So I'm clicking on the installing. Let that run, and then we're going to activate it. Bada boom. Okay, we can now delete this WooCommerce MailChimp, which we no longer need. So that's gone. And MailChimp for WordPress is already installed. So let's go and have a look at what those settings are. So what we now have to do is we've got to link up MailChimp with my WordPress website. And to do that, we need an API key. Now this may sound a little confusing, but it's not that critical, or it's not that difficult to figure out. Basically, all we have to do is we've got to get an API key for that MailChimp, and then we install that key here, and the two things should mesh together, hopefully. So let's go and find that key. So let's just click on that there. Now this is probably going to take me straight through to MailChimp and ask me to log in. I've already logged into my MailChimp account. Just make sure I'm in the right one. Yes, that's it, remembering memoir. And what we do now is we have to, I'm not going to read all of this API documentation. I'm not really developing an app. All I need is the key. So I'm going to scroll down here and click on create a key. So here is the key that the MailChimp system has created. And I'm just going to copy that. Go back now to this plugin. Paste the key there. Click on Save Changes. Boom. And it has been connected. That's all great. So what do we do next? Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to click on the form section. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a form so that people who are visiting the website and want to be notified of new posts as they become available, they can click on the sign up form and they'll be notified when a new post is made. So let's just say sign up. Okay. Add the new form. Okay, now this looks a little bit complicated. So we've got different fields that we can choose to put into this form. This is the HTML code for the form. That's what it looks like. We're not going to make this very complicated. I just basically need a person's email address. And let's see, what does this do? I suspect that if we click on first name, And we click on add to form, and if we say that we definitely want them to fill that field in, and I think it's important that it is filled in, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Let's just click on that. So there's first name, last name, add to form. Okay, so the reason why is that if you have the person's first name, it lets you personalize the email that you're sending through to them. So instead of this just random email address in the to field, you'll have the person's full name in there, and that helps with avoiding the mail being flagged as spam. And it also just looks better when you say, hey Dallas, how are you doing? Instead of, hey Dallas at remembering.co.za, how are you doing? So that's the reason why we use that. Okay, so the form seems to be okay. That's all we really need. And we have some messages. These are default messages that the system will display once various actions occurred with using the form. So you can be subscribed and unsubscribed, etc., etc. We don't really need to change anything here. You may want to tweak those once you get a little bit more comfortable with working with this plugin. Right, the form settings. This form subscribes to Remembering Memoir, and when you're in MailChimp, you can actually set up different audiences. So at this stage, we just have one default audience. I don't think I'm going to be splitting the audience into different segments, so I'm not going to worry about that. Use double opt-in. We strongly suggest keeping double opt-in enabled, and I would probably leave that in place. So that basically means that when somebody signs up on the form, it asks them to confirm that they have signed up, rather than somebody just going and putting some random email in there. Okay, subscriber tags. The list of tags we apply to also. This is more for MailChimp and segmentation. Form behavior. Hide form after a successful sign up. So I would say, yeah, okay. And if you have a page that you want to send them to after they've signed up, you would put the link to that page in there. I'm not going to stress too much about that right now. So let's just see what happens here now. So we're going to click on Save. And the last tab over here is the appearance. And what style should the form be? We've got a few options that you can choose from here, or you can just inherit from Cadence theme. I would just leave that as is, because you don't want to have things that look really out of place appearing on your website. So Cadence has a certain style of form. Let's just leave it like that. Okay, so we're good. Now you'll see that you've got this ability to add a shortcode here to display this form inside a post, page, or text widget. So wherever you want to let people sign up to your mailing list, you would just copy that code over there and you'd put it into your page or your widget. Okay, so we're good with that stuff. So that's dealt with the form. The integration, the table below shows all available integrations. Click the name of an integration to edit all settings specific to that integration. We're not really worried about that too much. I'm not going to be allowing comments on here. And subscribes people from your WordPress registration form. I think that's, yeah, so that's something that needs to be integrated. So let's do that. So what that means is if somebody has signed up on the Paid Memberships Pro plugin that I'm using to monetize the site, when they get this, when they sign up, they will be joined automatically to the mailing list, which is pretty handy. Okay, so here we have a few options that we've got to decide on. Implicit, select yes if you want to subscribe people without asking them explicitly. I'm going to say yes, because I would like people to be subscribed if they're going to be sending me money. Anyway, they can always unsubscribe. MailChimp lists, and it'll be Remembering Memoir, which is the only list that I have. Double opt-in yes, and update existing subscribers. Select yes if you want to update existing subscribers with the data that is sent. So we'll just say yes. Replace interest. Actually, let's just say no. I don't want to go there right now. I just want to get this done. All right, so that is all sorted out. So these settings here relate to usage trackings, allow people to track how this plugin is used. I don't think so. Loggings, what should be logged, errors and warnings only, or everything. I'm not going to worry about that for now. So that's it. So really all I have to do now is integrate this form into the website somewhere, and hopefully we'll be good to go. So let's just see what's going on there. So I think the best way to do this is if we go to the website itself and we have a look. This is not refreshed. Okay, so there we are. We're refreshed now. And I don't have any widgets going on at the bottom here, so I would probably have to put it in the sidebar, which is fine. So let's go and do that. Let's go to widgets. And over here on sidebar number 1, we're going to add a widget, and it'll just be a plain text widget. Sidebar number 1. Add widget, and let's just say sign up for newsletter, and we're just going to paste in that short code that I had copied from when we set this up. So we click on save, we are done. Let's go and see what it looks like. Voila, there we go. Sign up for newsletter. So let's just sign it up. Let's sign up and make sure that this is actually working. So I'll just say first name, Mr. Last name, test, email address. I'll just use that one. And I'll click on sign up. Thank you, your sign up request was successful. Please check your email inbox to confirm, which I will do in good time. Okay, folks, that is really all that was left to do for this website. I hope that all of these lessons have been useful to you, but of course, if you have any questions or if anything is unclear, feel free to contact me. I'll put a whole bunch of links in the description of this video, not in the footer, in the description of this video, so that you'll be able to contact me or sign up for any of the services that I offer. And yeah, please let me know by means of the comments section what you found useful, and I will continue to make these videos for you. Until next time, take care.